Hi Stitchers! I'm so excited to finally be here with you guys. I've watched your videos for months now. I don't know what's taken me so long to film my own, but here I am. I'm so excited to finally be doing this. I want to start off with a little bit of an introduction, just kind of tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Kirby. I live in North Texas. I have two small children. I have a 5-year-old daughter and a son who will be 2 in December. My daughter just started kindergarten this week. She's super excited. I work in retail. I'm a store manager. I have been doing that for years and years and years. It's not like I'm on a job interview right now. All right, let's move past that. Anyway, I started stitching back in 2007. I was getting married at the time to my now ex-husband, but it was a very stressful time, a lot of wedding planning mixed with working and just trying to juggle everything. And I was really looking for an outlet, something to relieve a lot of stress. A couple of the women that I worked with were big crafters. They did everything. Crochet and knit and cross stitch was one of the things that they did. And it really just kind of piqued my interest. So I decided to give it a shot. I went to a craft store, I don't even remember when it was at this point, and got a little bookmark kit. Finished it, loved it, never looked back. I got several cross stitch kits from there. Honestly, eventually life got in the way. I got married, got pregnant, I had my daughter. I put away my cross stitching, was just too busy for it and hadn't thought about it for years and years and years. And then several months ago, back in, I want to say April, I was watching YouTube videos. I used to manage a Sephora, so I tend to keep up with the makeup community here on YouTube. And I was watching some videos by Mackenzie, our very own The Lovely Array, and she was talking about cross stitching, and I remembered how much I loved it. I kept watching your guys' videos. Eventually I found you, Aish. I was super excited to see you over here in the cross stitch community and decided that it was something I really needed to get back into. So I went to a craft store again. I think it was Hobby Lobby or Joann's or something along those lines. And I picked up just a simple little kit. You guys don't laugh at my finishing. There's still hoop marks and I didn't even iron it. Still don't know what I'm doing as far as finishing goes. But this is the first one that I went and got. It's just this little owl. Super cute, just has a couple little buttons sewn on, but this was my reintroduction into the world of cross stitch and I loved it and I was hooked. I kept watching you guys' videos and kept finding more and more and more things that I wanted to try. So from there I saw Mackenzie's video where she showed off her absolutely gorgeous chart of the book spines that she got on Etsy. And I loved it. I thought it was amazing. And I had never thought to look on Etsy for craft patterns or things like that before. So that was where I hit next. I'm getting ready to show you guys all my different whips that I have. So I went onto Etsy, and honestly I was just getting back into cross stitching. Didn't know anything about copyright laws or anything along those lines. So I found a chart that is Disney's Frozen. Didn't think twice, just knew my daughter loves Frozen, so I went ahead and purchased it and started stitching it. And honestly now I'm kind of second guessing it. It is not the highest quality chart. I'm questioning the colors that they chose for it. You guys will see why in a second. But this is the chart that I chose. Oh, it's showing up super, super blue. Maybe if I bring it back here a little bit. You guys all know this image. This is... we all know it. It's Anna and Elsa kind of standing back to back, looking like they're up to something, which they probably are. You all know those two. But I loved it. So I printed it. I decided I was going to stitch it for my daughter for Christmas. I took it on vacation with me this summer. My boyfriend and I went to the Bahamas. And so I stitched it on the plane and on the cruise ship and everything. And it wasn't until I got back home and started looking at it here that I realized I'm just not happy with the colors that they chose. I'll just show it to you guys. I'll kind of explain it as I show it to you. So this is what I have done. This is Elsa. Let me fold over the part there. So there are good parts of this and there's bad parts of it. What I'm really not happy with is all of this in here. You can see it does this really weird transition. Elsa's like Ice Queen, right? I mean, she shoots like icicles out of her hands and it's crazy. And I swear this girl is tanner than I am. I mean, I stitched her in the Bahamas. I should have been the tan one. But she's got this crazy, like, deep brown shadow right here. Can you guys see this? and this weird peach transition. I double checked the chart multiple times and I used the color that they called for. Her eye also. I love the detail in the eye. Oh my gosh, that was my first introduction to the world of confetti. Holy moly, you guys. That was nuts. I'm still doing it though, so it's whatever. I love the detail in her eye. I'm just not happy with the color. You would think an eyeball would be more white, but it's this kind of dingy beige color. There, you can kind of see this weird peach and the weird brown a little bit. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm not super happy with it. I don't know if I want to finish it up and go all the way over here to Anna and be equally disappointed with her. I haven't really worked on it for a couple of months since I've been back because I'm so disappointed. I'm kind of wondering if maybe when I get to her hair, if it's like a Heaven and Earth design that you have to do another part before the first part looks right. Maybe her hair will tone it all down. I don't know. What do you guys think? Now I know about copyright laws, and I don't think this is a properly copyrighted chart, so I'm thinking about putting it to the side. So anyway, I found that one on Etsy, was working on that, of course still watching all of your videos, which I love, and I learn things every single day. So eventually I came across someone's video, I don't even remember at this point, talking about Heaven and Earth designs, and had to check them out and found my newest addiction. So I have spent hours on their website, you guys, since I found it. If you haven't tried it, go check them out. They have hundreds of gorgeous charts. There's so many to choose from. I wanted to try one. I wanted something relatively simple with larger blocks of color and not a lot of confetti. Something that would hold my interest for a while, and then I actually thought I stood a chance of finishing. So I also love to read. I read all the time. It's funny how that kind of goes hand in hand. I know a lot of you guys are very avid readers. It's something else that we all have in common. Books and cross-stitching, right? Are you guys coffee drinkers too? Anyway, so I eventually came across Randall Spangler and I absolutely fell in love with this chart. It's called A Little Light Reading. And it's this super, super cute dragon. I'm really hoping the colors are gonna come up. Oh, there we go. So it's this absolutely adorable dragon and he's reading a book under a sheet with an iPhone for light. And I just fell in love with this guy because it took me back to the times when I was a little girl hiding under my sheet with a flashlight, not an iPhone. I mean, I'm not that young. I wish. Sorry guys, sidetracked. Anyway, hiding under the sheet with his iPhone, reading by iPhone light, and I just thought it was hilarious. So I went ahead and got him. Another thing I'm going to tell you guys, definitely listen to everyone when they say to test stitch on different fabrics first. I hadn't heard that advice by the time I bought everything and started doing this. And I have honestly restarted like 4 times because I wasn't happy with the fabric. I initially started it off on a 25 count fabric that I picked up at Hobby Lobby that I have since heard all of you guys saying is just one of the worst fabrics you can stitch on. It's the MGD something or other. It's awful, and it made my stitches look terrible, and I thought it was me, and as a new stitcher, it kind of hurt my self-esteem. I'm glad I stuck with it though, because several fabrics later, I found one that I'm happy with. So let me show you guys my progress. I ended up stitching it, this is on 18 count white Aida. I don't have very much of it done. Let me show you guys the chart kind of next to it. All that I have is this very, very upper portion, kind of right here in the corner done. So you guys can kind of see my progress there. This is also my first time trying the parking method. I am enjoying it. The only thing is I am having that problem that several stitchers have where you can see the column lines for some of my rows. So I'm gonna keep playing with it. I'm still early enough in the chart that I feel like I can make some changes and have it all still come out okay. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep going. So the only thing about this chart, I love it. I still work on it. I think it's incredible. I'm excited to see it grow. But this is a lot of brown, you guys. And that is a lot of brown. So I wanted something with some color to kind of rotate back and forth with so I didn't get tired of it and decide to put it away altogether. So I kept hearing all you guys talk about your local needle workshops, and I decided to see if I could track down one of my own. And I actually found out that I have one in the city that I work in. So that was really exciting. And I stopped by one day and spent a few hours just kind of looking over everything and drooling and trying not to spend too much money. That didn't happen. But one of the things that she had were several Lizzie Kate charts that came packaged with the thread. And I believe it was crescent colors, but I had wanted to try over-dyed threads. So I got a few of the packages and decided to try it out. And the one that I decided to start off with is one by, well, Lizzie Kate, obviously, but it's At Our House. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I'll let you guys kind of take a look at it and move a little closer. I love the colors in it. It's funny because all of the text is brown, but I just feel like after stitching Frozen and after stitching my Heaven and Earth design chart, I don't know, I liked the more traditional look of this one. I liked that it was kind of broken up, that it wasn't just solid stitching, that I kind of had to jump around a little bit, and it had a little bit of color in it, which is what I was looking for. So I ended up stitching it on one of my rejected fabrics from the Heaven and Earth design that I tried. This is another 18 count Ada, but it is in oatmeal. And this is what I have done. Those of you that are on the Facebook group, by the way, Cross Stitch and Discuss 2, as I'm going through my video, you will probably notice you've already seen several of my works in progress because I have posted them on there. So this is what I have done so far. So far, so good. The one thing that I will mention is that the chart has several little bits of white in it. Well, there we go. These two little hearts right here. There's a little bitty border right here. Another little one right here. I don't know if you guys can see these little bumblebees. Super, super, super cute. Right here. The white does not show up on this fabric. I'm playing around with it a little bit. I've tried backstitching. I've stitched the hearts in white, backstitch around them with a little bit darker color to see if I can make them pop a little bit. Wasn't really happy with the results. I used it as an excuse to go to my local needle workshop and buy, what is it, the Petite Treasure Braid, Rainbow Gallery Petite Treasure Braid. Enablers, you. But I used that for the bee's wings, and that turned out really cute. So it gave it kind of a little bit of a shimmery, glittery effect for the bees, which I really liked because it made their wings kind of iridescent. I thought that was cute, but I don't necessarily like it for the larger chunks where the hearts are gonna go, which is right here. So if you guys have any suggestions for that, I'm honestly thinking about just kind of changing the colors of the hearts completely, getting to the end of the chart and see what colors I have the most left of out of the crescent colors and kind of going from there. They are variegated threads. You can kind of see it in the blue right here. Oh, maybe you guys can't. No, can you see it in the H up here? No, they're really subtle variations in the color. It's gorgeous though. I'm absolutely loving them. This is a great stitch. I'm going to be finished with it soon. This is probably going to be the next one that I finish. I'm really excited because it's going to look so pretty framed. I have the perfect place over on my wall that I'm going to hang it already. So as I started working on that one, I, of course, like I said to you guys, I go on the Heaven and Earth Design website every single day just to see what's new. And several weeks ago, they put out a series of charts by Hannah Lynn that were Wizard of Oz themed. And it's not necessarily that I'm a huge fan of the Wizard of Oz. I just fell in love with these charts. I think they're so, so pretty. I had seen several of Hannah Lynn's designs stitched in what they call coloring book style. So they finish all the black outline first and then they go back in and fill in the color, and it's just gorgeous how it kind of gradually happens and gradually takes shape. So I wanted to try it. I just had to. And when I saw these charts, I knew they were the ones that I wanted to do. So I bought all of them. It was a 50% off sale. I couldn't help myself. I bought the entire series. I'm still waiting on her Wicked Witch chart to be released. She has the artwork for it. It's gorgeous, but it's not on the Heaven and Earth Design site. So I'm anticipating that one. So the one that I decided to start was Good Witch. And this is what she looks like. Super pretty. You can see the yellow brick road. kind of border. I love her hair. Her hair is this really pretty, can you guys see that? Blues, yeah, kind of blues and yellows. Her makeup is gorgeous. The rainbow in the background, little peek of the Emerald City up here in the corner. I love it. These are quick stitches. So, well, most of them are. The Dorothy one is a full-sized, but all the rest of the characters are all quick stitch charts. So it was something that was a little bit smaller, which I was excited about because my Randall Spangler Dragon is going to take eons to finish, and I wanted something that I thought was going to finish a little bit quicker. Plus I wanted to try yet another fabric. So this one is stitched on 28 count. Is it Monaco? I don't know, something I got on clearance at Joann's. I got it for like $2, so I jumped on it. I bought enough to do the entire series. I took a chance, but it worked out, so I'm good with it. And this is how much I have gotten done. I haven't stitched on this since I updated the Facebook group on it, but it'll at least give you guys an idea of where I am. So let me fold it over. So you can see here's her hair, and it's kind of going into her bangs. She's got her eye peeking out, and I started over here on her hat. And you can see it's kind of all of this area here. So you can see just kind of in comparison to the dragon that I showed you at first, this one is essentially, here's a page, whereas with the Randall Spangler, this little bitty corner was a page. So you can imagine how much more motivating that is to actually see some progress happening on a Heaven and Earth design. I definitely recommend you guys starting on a quick stitch or a story keep or something like that first, just because it's so much more gratifying. You see your progress a lot quicker. But anyway, so that's what I have going so far. My plan is to finish, that's how big it's going to be. I've got it all gridded out. My plan is to finish all of the black outline, like I said, and then go back in and fill in the color afterwards. So I only have one more WIP. I know that seems like a lot, but the last one that I have, I wanted to stitch something for my mom for Christmas. I don't know, just to be nice. She's not necessarily a huge fan of cross stitching, but I just thought it would be cool to stitch her something. And I was looking and looking and looking, and I have kind of a more modern mom. She's not necessarily super, super traditional. She's younger, she's, you know, I don't want to say hip because that makes me sound like I'm a grandma, but you know, she's cool. So I didn't want something too country. It just isn't her. It's funny now that I'm looking at this, it is pretty country. It's the colors. You guys, I pick charts based on colors. I don't know if you've noticed that. That's a theme with all of my charts that I've gotten. The Randall Spangler has this quilt down here. The Hannah Lynn, it's just color explosion. This one has the really, really super cute pops of color. And then my grandma chart was all about the color too. The subject might be a little bit country, but I liked the colors a lot. So this is the one that I'm stitching for her. And it's Grandma's, the place to be. And something about this just spoke to me. The cookies and milk are super cute. There's a little bit of a cake right here and a pie. Nah, she's not necessarily really crazy about teddy bears, but we threw this in there anyway. Mashed potatoes. My brother's a mashed potato fiend. We always had mashed potatoes, like with every single dinner growing up. A little cookie jar and a little house with hearts coming out of the chimney. I just thought it was super, super cute. So I went ahead and snagged it. And I just took this out of the hoop, you guys. This is the one that I've been working on, so it's got hoop marks galore. But this is what I have done on it so far. I have the A, the N. Can you see that? Hold on. There we go. The A, the N, the D, and part of the R. This one has obviously significantly more back stitching than any of the other ones, so that'll be fun to get to. I don't think, actually this is the only chart that I'm working on right now that has any back stitching at all. You guys are scaring me away from back stitching. I haven't ever worked a chart that had a lot of it in it, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, again, that's kind of what I have done. This one is stitching up pretty quick. So I have most of the R, the A, the N, and D. Honestly, I've been able to finish each one of these letters in an evening. So if I sat down and worked, actually, you know what? I was on vacation, and by evening, I mean like from 4 o'clock in the afternoon until like 2 o'clock in the morning. So however long that is. Yeah, so you guys can see that should be a pretty quick stitch. Anyway, so those are my WIPs, you guys. I'm excited for y'all to finally see them. I'm a new stitcher, so if you guys have any advice for me, please feel free to share. I'm really excited again to be meeting you all and finally uploading my own video. Hopefully I can figure out the whole upload process. I am going to try, let me see, today's the 31st, so tomorrow's gonna be the beginning of September. I'm gonna try to do videos as often as I can. Like I told you guys, I'm a store manager, so I have 40 kids at work and I have 2 kids at home and I've got all kinds of other pets, so I have to kind of snag my time where I can. So I'm gonna upload videos as often as I can, hopefully at least once a month for a WIP update or something along those lines. But anyway, it was so nice finally talking to you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.